Hello everyone and welcome back to some rapid action on leeches. We haven't played in a while. We've had a couple of strong tournaments, last one being the Rapid and Blitz tournament in Croatia, the Grand Chess Tour. So we're going to play a game as usual, 10+0 on leeches. We've dropped in rating a little bit as I usually do when I play offline, probably as I'm not ashamed of the moves that I make. But now, as I'm recording, I think that will improve. So our opponent is Suku from Zimbabwe. We have the white pieces, and we're gonna open with e4 as we usually do. We're gonna go knight f3. And for those of you who are new to the series, I am playing some moves and then trying to explain them to the best of my ability. So we're playing bishop to c4. Bishop to c5 is my opponent's reply to my Gioco Piano, and we will of course play the Evans Gambit, pawn to b4, which is pretty much an instant win. Now, as soon as I said that, I will probably lose the game terribly, but I'm not kidding. I mean, it's that strong. So we gave up a pawn, and now we just grab the full center. And our opponent played e captures on d4, which makes us very happy. We're just going to go after the f7 pawn. And the black's main idea against the Evans Gambit is to basically move the bishop and play knight to a5 to go after our bishop and queen. Sometimes you just allow that. Sometimes I've even seen, people do something else instead of that. But we're just going to castle. So we don't care about the pawn. Obviously, rook e1 wins the queen. And d6, we're going to try and get some bishop to a3, e5 action, which it's hard to say, but could be very nice. So we're gonna go bishop a3, or maybe do we go e5 right away? I don't think e5 right away works. So we're gonna go bishop to a3 first. And now knight to f6 is looking a little bit weird. So knight e7 impossible. h6 doesn't look like something you want to play, but maybe it can be done. I don't think so. e5 still just looks incredibly scary. So my opponent doesn't really care. He just goes bishop to g4. Okay. Yeah, definitely makes sense. He left the b7 pawn hanging, which again looks a little bit weird. What is just queen captures on b7? Is that something that... Okay, is that some sort of a draw, like captures, he captures on f3? Nah. I can't just give up a rook. I have no idea what he's doing. So we're just going to capture on b7. Yeah, I mean, I don't see it happening. So this could be a very, very short game. If it's that short, we're gonna play another one. Okay, so he just gives up the rook for... I have no idea what for. We can even play bishop to b5 check here just to improve our position a little bit. Or we could play whatever. Yeah, bishop b5 seems like a worthy inclusion. Simply because this is not really anything, and if the king moves, then we capture, and then we have very nice pressure on that knight. If he captures on f3, I guess we happily recapture. So we just have to see if the bishop is more useful on c4 or on b5 before we actually capture the rook. Huh. It's kind of hard to... Yeah, I think without works very nicely. And yeah, I don't think he has some sort of a perpetual or anything. Do we capture right away? Do we have anything better? I guess we just capture. I don't think there's really anything here. So he just goes knight f6. He wants the castle. And now we could what? So we still need to be precise, obviously, even though we are now completely winning. Do we have time for something like this? It's not as if his knight is doing anything. Yeah, we could give a nice check now. Simply say, okay, you're not castling this game. Yeah, that's very nice. And now we just capture on d4. Prepare e5. Seems like we don't have all that much to worry about here. Now, as long as I have my rook and knight on a1 and b1, him being down a rook doesn't look that bad. Okay, obviously we don't want queen g5 to happen with check, but maybe we can allow one, like captures. I don't know, everything looks good, so it's hard to choose. Yeah, something like queen g5, knight f4, and he checkmates me, but... Like, there's always a rook g1. It's not as if it's a serious threat or anything. So, is there anything better? No, I don't think there is. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I am, of course, always interested in ways of ending the game on the spot, but if there is no such way, we might have to play queen e4. Sort of or maybe even just queen d5. Yeah, queen d5 looks like a reasonable move. We stop queen g5. Yeah, okay, I mean, you can play that. It's fine. Yeah, these are the most dangerous positions you can mess up. When, you know, all that's left is to develop one piece, and then, you know, the game just drags on and on and on. And, you know, you play a silly move. But yeah, I guess this is resigns on the spot. There's no way to stop losing a piece, another piece. So he tried, of course, even though he's down a rook because he's higher rated, but yeah, will not work. So we can check out quickly what was what. So it's a standard Evans Gambit position: b4, c3, d4. Let me just turn the engine on. And after he captured, I play queen b3, queen e7, I castled, and after d6. So e5 is, yeah, playable right away. Okay, you can go for that. I thought it's, you know, nothing special. I mean, it isn't. It's really nothing special. It's white maybe a little bit better. After bishop to a3, yeah, black is more equal. So, yeah, wouldn't hurt to learn some more lines by heart. And now I just play bishop g4 and completely messed it up. Yeah, bishop g4, just a terrible misplay here. But yeah, also, you know, your opponents probably don't face the Evans Gambit that often, so it's very easy for them to go wrong. Okay, we haven't really messed it up afterwards. Yeah, just queen captures, and it's a very nice game. But okay, it was incredibly short. This is like an 8 minutes, so we can play another one, 10 minutes per player. And yeah, let's hope this one will be a greater fight. But it's not easy, you know, when your opponent again I get the white pieces. Very nice. We're playing against Andy Kuhn from Argentina. We play e4 again, and this time it's a Sicilian, so we're gonna use the same principles. On knight to c6, I play pawn to b4, so sort of the same ideas as in the Evans Gambit, just nice rapid development. And okay, knight c6. We could play pawn to c4, which is kind of what everyone does when they want a very solid game with white, simply because you have very nice control over the center, sort of called the Marozzi bind structure. And okay, I mean, it's a game. So how do we want to play it? We want to play with f3, we already have everything. Yeah, is that some sort of a trick where we go f3, knight captures, and then some like queen b6? I don't think that's where we are at the moment. But yeah, let's just go bishop e2. Let's just go bishop e2. And we're gonna play something that he probably doesn't expect. We're gonna castle kingside. Okay. Yeah, bishop e6, pretty standard stuff. We're gonna go bishop f3. Not right away, obviously. Not right away. Yeah, and if you try something like a5, a4, I don't think it's particularly useful. And okay, now we can play something like we can either go f4 and bishop to f3, or we can lift the queen. Okay, so queen to a5, always a useful move. We're gonna play queen d2, or not just yet. Queen d2. Actually, play queen c2. Yeah, queen c2. An odd square for the queen in this against the Sicilian, perhaps, but I also don't think it's a very standard position for black. So we have the standard stuff. We have the knight ready to come to d5. The bishop is on d4, which is very nice. Probably yeah, at some point he might play something like knight d7 or knight g4 to try and trade off the bishops. Now we have to be a little bit careful. He aligned the rook nicely with our queen. So we can't go knight d5 right away, as he would just capture. But we don't have to go right away. We can just play whatever. We can even play something like rook b1. Yeah, and the queen is undefended. Yes, all sorts of tricks like maybe b5 in the future. So how do we make this position not favorable for my opponent? So we go rook d1. Yeah, rook d1. b5 is still not an option because our bishop is also helping out with that. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what my opponent comes up with. Not probably. Sometime. Okay, a rook. Moving the rook always a fine maneuver. Could we throw in a knight d5 now? I don't know. Yeah, we can't. Not just yet. Not just yet. Yeah, the queen definitely does not belong here. Sort of a silly moment. Yeah, we're gonna go bishop f3, but then b5. No, we have to play f3, but then we weaken the bishop. But yeah, we have to play f3 in order to move the queen and then to make the position fully operational. Even though I gave up a lot of tempi by this, by now. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, our opponent plays yeah, pretty much same as me. Most bullet, then some rapid, and then least of all 3-minute blitz, or maybe it's 5-minute blitz. Okay, so he offers a trade of dark square bishops, and I think we trade. We trade, and now the king is on a very nice square, but we're gonna remaneuver. Yeah, I mean, we should look for ways to make our bishop useful, and also we should get our king from this diagonal. So we're just gonna waste a move here. Yeah, okay, queen g5. No idea with what With what idea is that? Now we could get the knight here. Yeah, okay, knight d5. We have knight d5. I think we can be very happy. Or we can even lift the rook here if it's free. If it's free, we should always do it. Yeah, all of a sudden, my position is becoming more active. Yeah, oh, I mean, this is also nice, but... Yeah, okay, he's attacking the rook, so we're just gonna double up here. Yeah, we double up and then knight b6, e5 maybe. That could be interesting. It's hard to say if it actually accomplishes anything, but... On the other hand, knight b6 isn't that spectacular of a square for the knight. It would be maybe better to go with the knight to c5. I would still probably push e5. Yeah, that's why it's always very difficult for me to think about my opponent's moves before he actually makes them. Like, even if I play classical and my opponent is thinking for like half an hour, I'm not going to be at the board, you know, thinking there. You know, I'm just going to be walking around, probably make some 1 million steps before I actually start calculating. So here, rook c5 again, e5 looks very nice. Is it very nice? That's you know, that's a different question. But I think it is. Yeah, I think just pawn to e5. Yeah. What to do with the queen? That is also an interesting question. Yeah, queen e6. Okay, so we at least win a pawn, I think. Yeah, captures. Yeah, he's gonna capture with the rook, so it's again. Yeah. I think it's the best we have, and also we capture this way, and now if he captures, we sort of what? We definitely want to recapture, but can we do it? Where is the move we are looking for? Yeah, now knight b6 actually looks nice. But okay, we're just gonna go queen d2, so we keep an eye on the d pawn. Probably knight b6, maybe rook e8, but I don't think the rook wants to move away from the defense of the d pawn. And it's equal material, but okay, knight f6, maybe even better, you know, to prevent any incoming checks. So we're going to remain, or maybe we don't. Yeah, we remain on the d file. We continue putting pressure. It's hard to say if this is a good move. He will have some problems. He will have some problems here, definitely. Even if we just capture. Ah, he wants to capture with the rook. Okay, I thought maybe bishop c4, but if the rook captures, yeah, then makes perfect sense. It's actually a good move. But we could leave it as a weakness and advance c5 and try to create a passed pawn there. So that's exactly what we'll do. Yeah, I think we play b4. b4, and then we strike with c5. So we get a passed pawn, and I think our passed pawn could be a little bit more dangerous than the passed d pawn. Yeah, okay, the rook moves. Now it's nicely defended, so we have to be a little bit careful. And now we advance it. c5. And yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. My opponent is doing better on time, but we will get b5 as the bishop is nicely covering that. Yeah, he goes after the bishop as he should. We're going to play bishop f1. Yeah, if queen e1, we just defend the bishop. We don't want to trade queens here. We actually like our queen. Or do we? Do we like our queen? That's the question. Yeah, if I go here, he's just gonna go rook e3 maybe. And we might have some problems. Yeah, this wasn't bad. Not at all. Yeah, I think we go with king g1. Unfortunately. I want to play it, but I have to play quickly now. I still think this should be... not better. Maybe not better. But I think it's okay. Only the knight can defend the d-pawn. We have the nice bishop. I think maybe rook e1 could be an option, but not sure. Yeah, it's a fun position. Yeah, I don't see either rook e1 or rook here just looks weird, so I don't think he plays that, even though rooks do belong behind passed pawns. Yeah, we'll see. So king f2 might be my next move, or we rush it with b5. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what he comes up with. The knight is defending, but we can always sort of kick away the knight with some h4, g4 action. Okay, so he goes active with his king. We're gonna do the same, and we're gonna go g4, sort of to stop any advancement with the king. We're gonna give up a pawn. Nope, not interested. And now the question is, do we open up? No, we play b5. Okay, let's capture here first once. And now, do we do this or do we do that? Yeah, we have to capture like this. I think we capture like this. Yeah, that's the stuff. And on rook c7, we can play c6. So that's nice. Also, we might have some f4, g5. It's not, I don't think, it doesn't look winning anymore. But okay, we played something. But it's my opponent who's better on time, so we're gonna have to be very careful. Yeah, okay, so we have to play this. Yeah. Okay, so the king moves. Now we can just nicely defend. Okay. Let's go king g3. No, we have to go king e3 so we don't run into any checks. King c5. Okay. Can be played, yeah. Sure. Yeah, for the moment. Now the knight can move, but also then the king comes into the game. Minute 30. Okay, that's the best amount of time. Minute 30 against 3:30. So can he stop king d4? He can if he moves his own king back. If he does that, I can even go rook b2. Or do we call a draw here? We got a nice win with the Evans in the first game. If he goes king c5, do we just repeat? I don't think he'll want to repeat because he has a lot more time. So king d4, I don't think he should allow. Yeah, we're gonna check once. See if he's interested in a repetition. Still not convinced that I am. I just want to see if he is. Do we have time for king c5, rook b2? Yeah, he's just gonna check me and win more space. I don't think we can do that. Yeah, not enough time. Not enough time. Maybe he goes for something else. Nah. No, he won't. Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't think that allowing pawn to d4 was any good for me, so I had to opt for a repetition here. So okay, not bad. We had a nice game with the Evans in the first game, and then sort of a very questionable game in the second one. Okay, bishop d2. This is all perfectly fine. Let's just quickly check. Yeah, bishop d6, b3, queen a5. Yeah, this is all very, very nice for white. Queen c2, not terrible. f4 would have been a little bit better. Yeah, this is a little bit weird. Yeah, queen b2. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's the move I was missing. I was trying to somehow nicely connect with the bishop. I was only considering these two squares. I never considered queen to b2. Okay, rook d8. I played pawn to f3. Obviously, not the best, but okay. I'm doing what I can. King h1, queen g5. Okay, knight d5. This is all fine. Just waiting to see if anyone made any big blunders. Yeah, e5 is the best. Queen e6. f4. Okay, f4 definitely. I broke the tension here, and queen d2, knight f6. d5. I played the b4. Yeah, g4 is a move I considered. I didn't think it was actually useful at this point. Yeah, c5. Okay. I mean, we're playing a decent game so far. Yeah, queen e1. Not the best, but still equal. Captures. Okay. King f2. King e8. I should offer a rook trade. Yeah, it never occurred to me. Yeah, rooks off the board would favor white here. Play g4, g5, h4, h6, b5 captures. Sort of a nice Zwischenzug. It's a 0-0. Captures. He cannot capture due to bishop b5. Rook e7, sort of allowing king d4 and then knight e8. Yeah, okay, something, but still. You know, maybe for a grandmaster this is something to work with. I don't think it's for our level that anything changes. Yeah, and here we started going into repetition in a dead drawn position. But just to check, could this have been played? Yeah, it's still a draw, like d4, king d3, nothing spectacular. But allowing knight with so little time on the clock, I thought it was just, you know, looking for trouble. So yeah, very nicely played, Mr. Andy Kuhn 17. Was a very nice game, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. A bit of a shorter first game, as they tend to be if one plays the Evans Gambit, and okay, not the best play in the second one, but you know, that's what you guys are used to, and that's not what this series is about. It's about finding moves, you know, in general, trying to think of a way how to go about any position to consider moves, and yeah, we had a pretty good session. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any openings that you would like to see me play, also, you know, use hashtag suggestion, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.